silent just for a few seconds, and then when the lights go on, we'll hear the engineers arrive. Here we go. We're about to go lights out here at Silverstone. And his lights out and away we go, and it's a solid start there from the front two. Matimovic slightly better than Green Price, but I think Green Price is going to cover him up coming up into Abbey. It looks like he holds on to the lead for the time being. The McLaren is in the lead there. We've got Matimovic sat in second just behind. He's actually been jumped there by GDBO by the looks of it. GDBO's up into second place. We've got Brown Recluse sat in fourth. He's just got ahead of Gold Standard there. He's going up into fourth place. Gary's already up into sixth. Great start there from Gary on the outside of Penguin. They're side by side on the exit of the loop, coming out to the Langton straight. But Gary chops him off and he's up into P6. Leon Fernie in 8th just behind Penguin Dude. Kieran Argent unorthodox still in P10. We've got Jaffa Cake just behind him, and it looks like we've got Leon Fernie trying to make a move here on Penguin Dude on the inside, and there's a bit of bodywork there. A front wing end plate goes flying there. I think that was up the McLaren of Penguin Dude as Leon Fernie barged his way through, but Penguin Dude's back up the inside for Luffield, and looks like he's back up into P7 there. Jaffa Cake just behind these guys. Manu, Big Boy Brazier, Kieran Argent. Dan has had a horrible first lap. Here we are then guys, 10 laps left to go here for the XL F1 League Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Apologies for the delay getting this underway. We've had lots of technical difficulties and problems all around, but here we are then. And Enmorph has put his foot to the floor. We're ready to go for the final 10 laps of the race here. Enmorph on 5-lap old medium tyres, but a lot of those laps have been done under safety car, so he could probably get to the end from here. The question is, are drivers like Bennett, LCFC, Trianki Page, Mr. Exotic on fresh soft going to be able to make those tyres last to the end and reel them in at the end with the obviously the higher grip they have on the soft tyres, the soft tyre being the much grippier but much less durable tyre as a result of that, as we see Nathan into the pits. And lots of action going on here in the mid-pack at the moment, as we see Horatio getting pushed out a little bit there, losing a few positions. Mr. Exotic getting around the outside of Trianki Page, which holding it for the inside for the hairpin and keeping onto that P5 for the time being. Darby getting ahead of Andrew Pittsmith up into 8th place there on the exit of the hairpin, and we still see those guys side by side as now Carlos is going to make the move on Andrew as well up into 9th place. Derby Bay out dragging Horatio down the straight up into 7th as well. Down the inside goes Derby Bay and completing that move. Horatio trying to fight back here actually through the chicane, and great driving from Horatio here. These two still battling, and Derby Bay in the end gets the move done off the track as we see Trianki Page getting a penalty for corner cutting, and we've got a safety car, another safety car here with 9 laps left to go. Now what are these drivers going to do? Are they going to put the soft tyres on for the final stint of the race? Who knows what's going to happen here? This is going to be an interesting strategy here. Is anybody going to go for the gamble? With obviously, I can't believe these guys have only got 2-lap old tyres. Anybody going to gamble and try and stay out for track position? Is anybody going to come in the pits? What with the fact that they're on fresh tyres anyway? Maybe Enmore from Nobby possibly don't want to risk it now, knowing how the guys on the soft tyres are going to have reasonably fresh tyres for the last 6 or 7 laps, as they're going to do most of these laps under safety car. What's Enmore and Nobby going to do here? Let's watch these guys as Enmore staying out. He's sticking to the strategy. Nobby also doing the same. Sands coming in for fresh soft. Bennett also coming in. So Bennett, despite only doing half a lap on those softs, is getting a fresh set of boots on. Looks as though Derby Bay's staying out. Andrew staying out as well. Everybody else, Trianki Page in the pits. Horatio, San, Bennett all in. Danny Din coming around towards the start finish straight now. So Enmore still leading ahead of Nobby Bootleg. Mr. Exotic P3, Derby Bay 4th, followed by Karts and Andrew Pittsmith. These 6 the only drivers to stay out on the track. Everybody else boxing for fresh tyres here for the final sprint finish to the end of this race here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at XLF1. Stay tuned, guys, for what's going to be a thrilling final few laps. I imagine there's not been too many people watching live now due to the technical difficulties that we had early on, but to those who were racing here, who were watching it back, or to any friends, families, members or otherwise associates of the drivers who were taking part in this race, I don't know what's going to happen at the moment. Obviously you might know watching this back afterwards, but this is going to be an exciting race, so stick around and let's see what happens here. We'll be back in a few moments time. race control will be getting it underway this lap. If they're not, I don't know what they're playing at. I really don't, to be honest. Oh, apologies. Yep, we're back on. But here we are. Then I think we surely should be going this lap, I would imagine. And yes, it looks like we're once again racing here at Excel for the Abu. Are we? We are. Yep, we are racing. Yep. Here we go. So Morph puts his foot to the floor. Already got a 2-second gap here to Nobby Bootneck. Sand's been disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty, as we see there. Bennett and Trimarchy Page and Horatio up a position each. We see Mr. Exotic making a move on Nobby there, and a bit of Nobby's dropping down the order here. Look at this, down to P7 already. Bennett up into P6 there ahead of him, as we can now see Morph breaking away a little bit from the rest of these guys. Morph's got a 3-second gap to these two, Mr. Exotic and Derby Bay, going at it here into the hairpin. You got Trimarchy Page there making a move on Nobby Bootneck as well, up into 7th place. But Morph has already got a bit of a gap here. We knew he needed to make hay while the sun shines with these worn out medium tyres, and he's now really going for it here. Mr. Exotic has got Derby Bay and Carts in hot pursuit here, coming down towards the end of the back straight, tucking in behind for the time being. Bennett there ahead of Andrew Pittsmith. There's Trimarchy Page ahead of Nobby Bootneck and Horatio and Danny Dean at the back in P10. But Morph has got 6 laps here and is already putting out a bit of a gap to his rivals. Obviously these drivers who are on the reasonably fresh soft tyres behind him will be able to go after him pretty quickly, but Bennett LCFC stuck in some traffic behind Mr. Exotic, W and Carts at the moment. Not able to do too much at this point, as we see a Ferrari there in the background of Horatio just trying to defend from Nobby Bootneck. So he's actually made the move on Nobby Bootneck, should I say. So he's got ahead of him and is now going to start to pull away, I would imagine. But at the moment, Morph pulling out the gap to the rest of the drivers here. We've already got a 5-second gap here to Mr. Exotic. Derby Bay still trying to find a way through ahead of Mr. Exotic. Still can't do it at the moment. He's looking, he's probing, he's pushing, he's trying his absolute damnedest to find a way through, as we see Bennett making a move on Carts up into 4th place here. Morph fastest lap of the race as the fuel tank starts to lighten a little bit. He's really getting the best out of his car at this stage in the race. But Mr. Exotic's here running just ahead of Derby Bay, 2/10 between them two. Bennett that's still on the back of these guys here in 4th place, and Carts following them through with Andrew Pittsmith not too far behind. Trimarchy Page all over the back of Andrew Pittsmith here, coming through the first sector. Great close racing here in the closing stages of this race. Bennett still trying to find a way through ahead of Derby Bay if he can. Bennett knows he needs to get ahead of Derby Bay and Mr. Exotic quickly if he is to try and chase down the race leader Morph. Bennett's on the fresh soft tyres. He knows he's got the pace and potential. He needs to clear these guys as quickly as he possibly can. Derby Bay getting a great run out of the hairpin and has managed to outdrag Mr. Exotic down this part of the track. Now Bennett looking to try and get involved and feast on these scraps if he can. Looking to the outside here on Mr. Exotic. Bennett around the outside takes the polystyrene braking markers with him. There's now Mr. Exotic looking back down the inside of Derby Bay. Can't get it done. And Bennett there really lost out in that little exchange there. Oh, Mr. Exotic's around. He spins it and he's dropped down to near enough the back of the pack there. Bennett's now going to have to pull up onto the back of Derby Bay, and Cart's there in the background trying to get involved in this battle for the podium spots. Trimarchy Page up into P5 and Andrew Pittsmith up position as well. But Morph has already managed to pull out a 6-second gap whilst Mr. Exotic was running in P2, and we've got Morph there looking like he's in a pretty good position here to win this race. I haven't seen him win a race here at Excel, but I haven't been on the mic here for a very long time, so I haven't actually been too up to date with who's been winning races and whatnot. But Morph currently looking in a good position here. He's managed to pull out a gap here post safety car. Derby Bay there running in 2nd place. He's got Bennett pretty close to the back of him. These two running wingmen here currently trying to chase down the race leader if they can. Have they run out of laps? Those fresh soft tyres will start to really come into play here with Morph's more mediums will be starting to go off the cliff ever so slightly in the last couple of laps, but he's got almost a 6-second gap here, and that gap doesn't seem to be coming down at too much of a rate here at this point. We've got Trimarchy Page running in 5th place just behind Carts. Andrew Pittsmith on those worn out medium tyres with Horatio just behind him. But what can Bennett do with Derby Bay? Can he get ahead of him? Can he try and find a way through? DRS enabled this lap, obviously 3rd lap since the safety car period ended. And here we come down this long back straight which heads down towards the heavy braking zone for the chicane. Bennett will have DRS, but he's not really close enough to make a move coming into the braking zone. He might be able to set himself up for a run in the 2nd DRS zone. Having a little look, trying to distract him in the mirrors in the background. We can also see Trimarchy Page making the move move on Karts into the braking zone, into 4th place, and Horatio has made the move around the outside of Andrew Pittsmith up into 6th place, but does he go wide? Does he complete the move? I think he does, just about there. Andrew's going to get DRS down this part of the track though, and might have something to say in return here. Rear wing wide open there, you see, for the Aston Martin. Can he get back at Horatio? No, he can't. Horatio's got that done up into P6. Enmorph's got a 5.7 second gap. The gap's staying at around the same to Derby Bay and Bennett LCFC. These two not making an impression on the race. It's looking for all the marbles like Enmorph is going to be able to take the win here. Just over 4 laps left to go here at the Yas Marina circuit. The question is, are those medium tyres going to fall off the cliff? If they don't, he's pretty much just going to be able to walk around these last couple of laps and bring it home for the race victory. Derby Bay there running in 2nd place. Still got Bennett just about at arm's length here in this battle for P2 as Enmorph does another fastest lap of the race there on lap 24. Closing stages here in Abu Dhabi, a race which we weren't able to cover all of, down to a lot of technical difficulties rearing their ugly head. As we see Bennett there a little bit loose on the curb on the exit of turn 1 between turns 1 and 2, bit loose there coming through that flat out section of the track as well, as he's really wringing the neck of that car. But Derby Bay and Bennett did seem to take a little bit of time out of Enmorph coming through the first sector here. The gap is down to 5.2 between Enmorph and Derby Bay, and it's coming down, so those medium tyres of Enmorph may be starting to lose a little bit of grip now. We'll see what sort of times these two are putting in, but Derby Bay now putting up a bit of a gap to Bennett LCFC in this fight for 2nd place. Horatio still on the back of Karts here. These guys have pulled out a bit of a gap back to Andrew Pittsmith there, but Horatio will get DRS on Karts coming down this part of the track. I think he's a little bit too far back though to make anything happen here. Let's watch as the Ferrari does get that closing speed here on the Mercedes, but the corner's going to come just in time there for Karts. Can Horatio get a good run coming out of this part of the track and maybe set himself up for a DRS overtake? He'll get that slipstream, he'll get that closing speed. Oh no, he gets a bit loose there. Horatio gets all over the place, and that will have put pay to his opportunity to try and get that position there. As we see, a VSC has been deployed, not sure why, trying to figure out why this is. I'm looking through the order to see if anybody's had a moment. Doesn't look like it, so I'm not really sure why we've got a virtual safety car here. That seems a bit bizarre, but Enmorph gained a little bit of time on Derby Bay coming through the middle sector here. He's now got a 5.5 second lead. Don't know if that's down to the Constantina of the VSC, but the VSC is only going to play into the hands of Enmorph because that's more time where the cars are neutralised, and that's less time for Derby Bay to really get the to get a run here at Enmorph. And Enmorph seems to have the measure. Those medium tyres are in perfectly good nick at this point. Only 11 laps into their stint. They can go 15 laps really without going off the cliff. They do start to wear off after 11 or 12 laps, but at the moment he seems to have them in check, and the longer this VSC goes on, the more it's going to play into the hands of this man just here out in front in the Alpha Tauri. Just under 3 laps left to go here at Abu Dhabi. We see Andrew Pittsmith is into the pits, so he's getting those medium tyres changed to a set of soft, and I imagine he's going to go for a tilt at the fastest lap here in the closing stages of this race. So still under virtual safety car here for the final few laps here at the Yas Marina circuit. We see Mr. Exotic getting ahead of Andrew Pittsmith. That's because Andrew's still in the pits, and off and out he comes at that tunnel and out onto the track once again. 3 laps left to go for him. 2.5 laps left to go for these guys here. Enmorph, Derby Bay, Bennett LCFC now a second adrift of Derby Bay in this battle for 2nd place. Horatio still in the back of Karts here. These guys pretty close, as we see no DRS, seeing as the virtual safety car has only just ended. Whenever there's a virtual safety car, there is no DRS for, I think it's 1 lap there's no DRS for, so Horatio obviously didn't get the benefit there, but does he get it here? Yes, he does. Look at this. He's going to get DRS here through this part of the track. We see there are only 2 tenths between them. Horatio is going to get a run here. Is he going to send one down the inside? He's going to have a look here, and he's going to send one. Oh, no, he thinks better of that one. Karts, for the time being, does hold on to that position. Horatio thought about that one, thought better of it. In the meantime, Derby Bay has taken a chunk out of Enmorph on this lap. Only 4.5 seconds now between the top 2, but Enmorph has only got just over 2 laps left to go in this race, so he's got that ascendancy. He's got the advantage. He has got a great opportunity to take this win. The medium tyres, as I said before, will be absolutely on a knife's edge at this point. They are going to be really starting to suffer at this point, but Derby Bay, to be fair, has done 7 laps on his soft tyres. They're not going to be feeling 100%, I'd imagine. Surely that Bennett would be having pace advantage at this point, but it doesn't look like it's really serving him too well at this point. He's dropping off at the back of Derby Bay at this point, as we see Horatio within 4 tenths of a second of Karts. Andrew Pittsmith just over a second behind Mr. Exotic. We see here. Enmorph's gap is coming down to Derby Bay. Has Derby Bay got anything left to throw at him? The soft tyres are going to be definitely starting to feel the pace at this point. The soft tyres really operate well up to about 6 or 7 laps, maybe 8 at a push. Once you get to the 9 or 10 laps, they do start to slide around a little bit, and Derby Bay will be feeling in a similar position to what Enmorph is. The one thing that Derby Bay's got going for him is that obviously the soft tyres are a lot more grippier in general, but they'll be both going off at this point. But the gap's coming down still between Enmorph and Derby Bay. Derby Bay's gapping Bennett LCFC continuously as Horatio is out of the race. Horatio is DNF. Let's hope we don't get a safety car here. We've got double waved yellows through sector 2. That's only going to halt Derby Bay's charge here on Enmorph, and I think Enmorph is going to see the checkered flag come in the nick of time here, and he's going to take the race win here for the penultimate round of XL's F1 League Order. Having said that, Derby Bay took a big amount there coming through that part of the track. Maybe he just took a bit of a risk there under the double waved yellow flags, and it seems to have paid off as he's really made it a bit of a gain here through this part of the track. Just under 2 seconds between these two coming on to the final lap of the race here. What is going to happen in the final part of this race? Enmorph has led pretty much since I started watching, since I managed to get on top of these technical difficulties that we had. 1.7 between these two as they're about to start the final lap of the race here. Enmorph has got the advantage. Derby Bay has been hunting him down, has been making those gains. Bennett seems to have no answer, and it's got True Monkey Page reeling him in on the end of this lap here, or at the end of this race should I say. True Monkey Page might be able to mug Bennett at the final lap of this race and get onto the podium. Bennett LCSC, already the champion of this. Oh no, Bennett's lost it! The champion of the XLF1 League has lost it coming through turn 3. Oh no, he's facing the wrong way, and he's going to lose positions here, I'm sure of that. The double champion of the XLOG League has lost it here. He's down to P5. In the meantime, we've got double wave yellow flags through sector 1 and 2. That's not going to affect these two. They're way past the incident, but Enmorph has managed to put out a bit of a gap to Derby Bay in that first sector there. The gap was 1.4 at the beginning of the lap. It's now up to 1.8, so Enmorph starting to respond ever so slightly. Derby Bay's got to throw the kitchen sink at Enmorph on this last lap, but I think he's going to come up short. 1.6 between them. Enmorph can just bring it home. He can tiptoe around the final half a lap here, and he should be able to get this one in the bag. 14 lap old medium tyres for Enmorph, no mean feat. Really good tyre conservation here from the man currently out front. Derby Bay is within 1.7. It's not going to be the win for Derby Bay unless Enmorph makes a mistake in the final few corners. True Monkey Page onto the podium fortuitously there with Bennett LCFC's little spin. You've got Karts running in 4th place, Bennett in 5th, Andrew Pitts still running in 6th place, followed by Mr. Exotic in 7th, Danny Din 8th, and Nobby Boot in 9th. Hats off to all the drivers who stayed in it till the bitter end, and it's going to complete the race. Enmorph though into the forwards, the final couple of corners. What a drive from this man here. Managed to make those medium tyres fall last the distance, and it's going to be the victory as he takes the checker flag here at the Yas Marina circuit. Enmorph is the winner ahead of Derby Bay. Good driving from both of those at the end there. Derby Bay really was coming for him at the end, but just about missed out. The checker flag coming in the nick of time there for Enmorph. True Monkey Page gets onto the podium due to Bennett's little mistake there on the final lap. Karts takes 4th ahead of Bennett, who's going to come through the final couple of corners to take a P5 in this race. As over the line comes the double champion of the XL OG League here. Not like Bennett to see him struggling in the OG League, but nonetheless, I suppose we all have our off days, even the best of us. Andrew Pittsmith comes over in P6 ahead of Mr. Exotic. Oh, he's lost his front wing. Look at that. That Haas car does not look healthy at all as he comes over the line to complete his race. 6 championship points for a P7 for Mr. Exotic. I'm sure he's not going to be too disheartened with that. Danny Din out of the last corner, 11 seconds behind Mr. Exotic. Going to be a P8, 4 championship points for Danny Din as he gets a 5-second time penalty for not serving that penalty there, as he wasn't able to come in to serve that, as he hadn't got any scheduled pit stops between when he got the penalty and when the race ended. So that is that then for the race, ladies and gentlemen. What a race we've had here tonight. Hopefully you guys, the drivers who are out on track watching this back, enjoyed the coverage from the last 10 laps. Apologies we weren't able to stream the first part of it. Unfortunately, we had some major technical difficulties which really did screw us over, but that's that. There's the champagne celebrations. Big thank you to everybody who commented on the initial stream. I don't know if anybody commented on this one, to be fair. I've been too busy to really check it out. Lightbait said, evening Andy, hope you're well. Question, is Bennett LCFC the Luke Bennett from Robbings Racing? He's not actually, no. Lightbait, no. He's a different guy. Bennett's one of the admins on the XL Racing League. I don't know what happened to Luke Bennett. I don't think he's on PlayStation anymore, to be fair. I think he's moved on to iRacing or something like that. But yeah, that's that then. M Morph ahead of Tree Monkey Page, completing at the podium, and great racing here. XL Sid says loving the commentary still. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you. Shame that obviously we couldn't cover a lot of the race down to the fact that we had some technical difficulties, but nonetheless, thank you everybody for watching. Drop a like on both streams. We had the qualifying stream and the failed start, and then we obviously had the restart, which we missed due to the nightmare problems that we had on this stream tonight. Let's just move this across a little bit so you can see the full classification there. So M-Orf taking ahead of WA, Tree Monkey Page third, followed by Carts 4th, Bennett 5th, Andrew Pittsmith in 6th, followed by Mr. Exotic 7th, Nobby Bootleg in 8th, Danny Din 9th, Horatio 10th, Mopbo 11th, Dizzle in 12th, and the screen just flicked away so I didn't see the rest there. But that is that then for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at XL. Join us in the next one. We'll be back live. I'm not sure if, I think I should be commentating on Wednesday for XL. Motive will have the GT4s on Wednesday, so definitely check that out. But thank you everybody. See you later from me. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great evening. See you later.